Good morning, Hank. It's Monday. So like Zay Frank and Wheezy Waiter, I recently had the opportunity to talk to Rainn Wilson. And since I've always felt in my heart that Rainn Wilson would give really good romantic advice, I chose to ask Twitter if they had romantic problems that we could potentially solve together. And they did. All right, so the first question we have is, how do you get over unrequited love? How do you know when to give up?
I think that unrequited love means that you love someone and they don't love you. So if you're pursuing that, then you really need to learn to love yourself, because if you really loved yourself, you would only really be giving love towards someone that was reciprocating. So there's something wrong inside you. Unrequited love equals something broken inside.
I agree.
For instance, I had unrequited love through most of my high school years with Tria Smith. And we're now good friends. I really loved her and she did not requite that love, but I was a really messed up young kid. I guess I was only 16, so you can't really fault me for it.
Yeah, I had a similar experience of unrequited love through high school, but it wasn't just with one person. It was with like a series of, really with anyone. I requited love to all of my classmates, and then none of them requited it in return.
Just a vocabulary note, what is to requite?
It's a word I made up.
Yeah, but it has to be, requite is a word, but what is requited love if there's unrequited love?
I think that's what's known in English composition as a neglected positive, where we stuck with the negative version of the word, but we abandoned the positive. I agree with you completely. As a married guy with one kid, I have to say that I cannot talk to my high school girlfriend because my great high school unrequited love, because it's still super awkward. And I act like I get nervous and shaky whenever I am in a situation where she is.
And your wife picks up on that, and so your wife is like,
No, right? No, my wife would never like tell me who to talk to. It just makes me uncomfortable. So I think it varies for different people. I think some people have like great.
Maybe there's still a spark there.
No, I don't think there's a spark. I feel bad because I think she watches this show, so now it's going to be awkward.
Oh, no. You have the power of editing, though. You know, you can edit that out.
So I have a second question for you.
Yeah.
How do you know if someone is the one or if you're in love?
The definition of love changes as you get older. I'm 46 years old. I think about love very differently now than I did when I was 36, 26, or 16. I think about love right now as appreciating all of the greatest things about a person's soul and seeing positive aspects in someone, generosity, kindness, humor, and really looking for that in their eyes and connecting with that. That's what I do with my wife, and I love her more deeply than I have, but it's different. There's not any romance to it. There's no candles being lit or flower petals being scattered or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I always, like, whenever people ask me that question, it seems to me like that question presupposes that love is an event, that like love is this event that happens to you one day, and the love virus arrives, and forever after you are infected with it, and even the idea of the one is an event-based idea in some ways. Like this person walks into your life, and then forever after, that person is the one. But for me, I mean, we're both like old married guys, so but
why is anyone even watching this?
Yeah, seriously.
There's gradations of love, is there not? I love my dog. I love Bobby Miller, our channel manager here at Soul Pancake, who's helping me run this chat. But I don't love him as much as Devin, the co-founder of this website, who I've known intimately for 5 years. And I don't love him as much as other friends. And then I don't love them as much as my wife. And I love them differently than my parents. And I love my parents differently than my love for my child is the deepest love. I love God. But it's all different kinds of love. Romantic love is passion, being carried away by something, just those endorphins and adrenaline coursing through your body, and you can't live without that person, and you dream of their face, and you just like time stops when you're with them. And that's great It's fun, it's awesome, it's beautiful. Every person should experience it. It's fantastic. But it doesn't last that way. There is no way to sustain that.
Yeah.
Not after you've seen someone poop.
Right. Yeah,
That's
no,
literally when romantic love stops. You're like, oh, they are wiping their poopy butt right now. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
I think sometimes people get sad about that, like particularly young people. They hear from old people like us that, love isn't an event, it's a process, and it changes and evolves. And that sounds depressing to them because they want this fierce, crazy, stupid love where you do dumb things all the time and you act totally spontaneously and everything. But I have to say, I genuinely love my wife so much more than I ever did in those crazy days.
I love your wife so much. I love your wife.
Yeah, and I actually feel the same way about your wife. I love her so much more than I did, when we first met 10 minutes ago.
Wow.
She seems
fascinating.
Great. Yeah. All right, last question. I just got dumped, not me, person I'm quoting.
Right.
I just got dumped. What do?
I think that, first of all, it is important to feel the feelings around getting dumped. People say like, oh, you got to get back on your feet and you got to get out there and just do something fun and see your friends and remember what life's all about. But there is a grieving process. It is the death of something. It is the death of a relationship. There's pain with that. You have to experience that pain. You have to fully process it. You can't really move on until you've felt those feelings. And then you can move on in a lot of different ways. But if you move on before you've processed it, it's gonna be like a little, I had a doctor had to take a cyst out of my scalp. I had like a cyst in my scalp but they have to make sure they get it all because then it can grow back. It means you didn't get all of the stuff out of your cyst.
It's a fantastic analogy for me because I recently had a cyst drained by my doctor. And he drained it into a cup just so he could have the pleasure of showing me all the stuff that was inside of my cyst.
Where was your cyst?
Right here in the inside of my arm. This is, by the way, what old people talk about.
Their cysts.
How we drain our cysts.
I got a medical story that's going to blow that out of the water. You ready?
I'm ready.
I had my scrotum drained.
Oh boy.
I was collecting water in one of my scrotums. And so one of my ball sacks was way bigger than the other ball sack. It was like a golf ball and a baseball.
Oh my gosh.
At first, the doctor did a syringe. It was like 8 ounces. But you know what? It filled back up. It's called a hydrocele. Look it up. Hydrocele. C-E-L-E. And then I had to go under the knife and get it. They had to take a membrane out of my scrotum. But everything's fine now. You should see it. In fact...
Yeah, no, yes! When we started this conversation, Rainn, the one thing that I was confident about is that we were not going to discuss scrotal swelling. So that just goes to show you that life is full of beautiful surprises.
That's right, you gotta roll with it. I think we learned a very valuable life lesson, and that's what happens when you get dumped. You just gotta roll with it. Bring it all back together. Boom.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time and giving us such amazingly good advice. Check out Soul Pancake at soulpancake.com, youtube.com/soulpancake. It's really, really interesting stuff, and I'm really excited that you're bringing this important voice to YouTube.
Well, thank you. We do this all the time at Soul Pancake. We talk about life's big questions, and we're going to be exploring a lot of that stuff on our new YouTube channel. Do you have any YouTube channel pointers?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's worked best for us is just to use giraffe sex as the thumbnail.
Hey, do you know what the world's most dangerous animal is?
Man.
Let's not say anything else. Let's walk away from this interview.
All right.
I seriously speaking my love. I love you.
I love you back, Rainn Wilson. As we say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome.